Hello everyone, I'm Haomiao Li and I'm delighted to be here today to share insights into culture profile of America. In today's presentation, I will share my views in 4 parts, namely introduction to American culture, hostile culture, dimensions, cross-culture, actions plan 1 and 2. In the first part, I used literature and information on the internet to analyze the application of American culture in negotiations. In the last 2 sections, I will describe my 2 plans for completing international business negotiations with the U.S. team as my recommendation. Okay, for the first part, I will briefly introduce the culture and characteristics of American interpersonal relationships in 3 points. The first point I want to introduce is the diversity and inclusiveness of American culture. The U.S. is not a country with a single culture, and due to its complex immigrant background, its culture is very diverse. The function of people of various races, religions, and values together consists the present-day United States. Therefore, diversity and inclusivity are very important in American culture, which encourages an open attitude towards different openings and treats different groups equally. The second point is about individualism and freedom in American culture. Democracy and freedom are the foundation of the American culture. On this basis, interpersonal relationships in the U.S. have a strong individualistical and liberal color. This culture encourages everyone to think independently, express their own opinions independently, possess uniqueness, and pursue their own dreams. The third point I want to talk about is cooperation and teamwork in American culture. Although, as I mentioned earlier, American culture emphasizes individualism, it also values the spirit of teamwork. The American members in the team highly recognize colleagues who have a spirit of cooperation, and they believe that working together for a common goal is effective and attainable. On the other hand, if team members lack a spirit of cooperation and ability, the American members will not recognize them, which is undoubtedly harmful to achieving goals. What follows the second part on the analysis of American culture. In this section, I will use hostile culture dimensions to analyze American culture. When we want to understand culture difference between countries, hostile culture dimension theory is a commonly used thinking framework. It has 6 elements, namely power distance, individualism, and collectivism, masculinity and femininity, ancillary avoidance, long-term and short-term orientation, and indulgence and restraint. If we use this framework to analyze American culture, we will first find that the power distance in the U.S. is very low, which means that Americans attract great importance to equality and democracy. Secondly, there's no doubt that Americans will choose individualism. They prefer independent thinking and expression and do not like being submissive. Finally, to some extent, Americans do not reject change and risk. On the contrary, they often believe that this is beneficial. Next, I would like to talk about the issues of gender reaction in American culture. In their culture, men and women are equal. They have equal competition and equal cooperation. Therefore, when managing American team members, they shouldn't be treated differently between male and female members, but should be considered as an unfair individual. When Americans choose between short-term and long-term thinking, they often choose short-term thinking. They are more inclined to start from the immediate problem, come up with countermeasures, and achieve short-term results. In other words, their work pace may be fast. They don't like red tape and prefer simple and direct problem solving. The last point is about the choice of indulgence and restraint. Overall, Americans tend to indulgence in life and enjoy satisfying their desires and habits, and are good at obtaining happiness from life. Next, I would like to explain my understanding of how taught to respond to the U.S. negotiation team by answering 2 questions. In the first part, I will introduce my cross-cultural action plan 1. The key question I would like to answer in this section is what the impact of their cultural characteristics and values on how they approve the significant negotiation tasks. In the initial stage, Americans start with casual talk like discussing the weather or sports to break the ice. They quickly move to forward information exchange to build a rapport. During discussions, Americans prefer cooperative problem solving over debate. Everyone gets a chance to share ideas openly, and questioning it seems like constructive, not personal criticism. In negotiations, Americans value showed fair actions and believe in honest, direct problem solving. They aim for mutual concessions rather than indirect methods, striving for equitable outcomes without overly generous initial offers. So next is the cross-cultural action plan 2. The core question I want to clarify in this section is, in view of how they might negotiate, what should we do to have managing the process more effectively? Firstly, we will discuss the differences at this stage, considering the characteristics of American culture. We should strive to make the communication process as direct, clear, and accurate as possible. We should encourage everyone to form their own opinions and be able to express them smoothly. After exchanging views, both parties were able to have an honest discussion at this stage, establishing trust and clearly expressing one's situation is the most important. From other perspective, although Americans love socializing, at this stage we cannot let social activities affect the purpose of our negotiations. Negotiation is a business behavior, and our goal is to obtain sufficient commercial benefits rather than making friends. Therefore, we need to remind our team members to focus on significant negotiation goals and tasks instead of keeping socializing with Americans. In the exploration stage, I believe that the most important thing is to encourage members to express their opinions and collaborate to advance the negotiation process. American culture appreciates both individual heroism and the spirit of cooperation. During the negotiation process, we encourage each of them to unleash their creatively participating in brainstorming and provide some preliminary opinions. Then we openly and transparently discuss them. In this situation, I believe that it would be more conducive for both parties to reach the most recognized negotiation results. In the final action stage, I think American team members should have clear communication with each other. In American culture, simplicity and directness may have better effects than complexity. During the negotiation process, conflicts are inevitable. At this point, American members are more inclined to solve problems from a positive perspective, making fair concessions to both parties through honest quantities and statements. In summary, the principles of directness, transparency, and fairness are the most important when dealing with U.S. negotiators. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.